Federal government warns of mass sacking as Labour disowns agreement over a new national minimum wage. Blackout in Borno State as vandals bomb TCN transmission towers. Electricity workers picket Kano Distribution Company head office. On the foreign scene, 80 passengers killed in the latest boat accident in Congo. Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. And we begin in Abuja as the federal government of Nigeria on Wednesday admonished organized labor to consider the broader economic implications of its push for an unrealistic higher national minimum wage. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, who handed down the admonition, hinted that the 250,000 naira minimum wage demanded by the organized labor could undermine the Nigerian economy, leading to mass retrenchment of workers and jeopardize the welfare of Nigerians. The labor, however, refuted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's claims during his Democracy Day broadcast on Wednesday that agreement had been reached on the new national minimum wage. The acting president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Prince Adewale Adeyanju, said as of the time of the negotiations ended on June 7th, no agreement had been reached by the tripartite committee on the new national minimum wage. Well, staying with that development, the organized labor has also insisted on the 250,000 naira proposal as new national minimum wage, while faulting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's comment in his Democracy Day speech. The committee on the new minimum wage had submitted a report to the federal government, pegging its last offer at 62,000 naira. The president had, in his Democracy Day speech, said an executive bill on the new national minimum wage for workers will soon be sent to the National Assembly for passage. But the NLC had faulted the president's remark, insisting it won't back down on its demand. Elsewhere, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Wednesday says ex-Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello, who is accused of 80.2 billion naira fraud, has ridiculed the Nigerian justice system by failing to present himself for trial in court. The acting EFCC Zonal Director, Benin Zonal Command, Efa Okim, stated this during a familiarization visit to the Delta State Council of the Nigeria Union of Journalists in Asaba, Delta State. The EFCC is in a running legal battle with Yahaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State, over alleged 80.2 billion naira fraud. Following a failed attempt to arrest the former governor and his repeated absence from court for his arraignment, the EFCC declared Bello wanted, while the Nigerian Immigration Service also placed the governor on a watch list. When asked on Wednesday why the EFCC had yet to arrest Yahaya Bello weeks after he was declared wanted and arraigned, Okim claims that the ex-governor was being shielded by the system. Okim said beyond legality, there was a moral aspect to the case. Now, as Nigeria celebrates this year's Democracy Day, residents in Jos, the Plateau State capital, have scored the present administration low on delivering the dividends of democracy. Some say the day is not worth celebrating, considering how Nigeria is lagging behind in the Committee of Nations. Trust TV's Ado Musa has some of the reactions from the residents.
Democracy Day provides an opportunity for citizens to reflect on the progress and challenges of civilian rule, acknowledging achievement and identifying areas for improvement. Like many other Nigerians, Jos residents share their views on the country's Democracy Day celebration.
Of course, what the president said was nothing more than a repetition of what has always been said, even in the past. Of course, expectations were that on a day of this nature, the president was going to roll down achievements, recount successes, and then probably prefer solutions to areas where the government has fallen short. But apparently, as far as citizens are concerned, there isn't much to celebrate.
We didn't see the dividends of democracy as far as Nigerians are concerned and as far as the Nigeria is concerned. Because out of whatever we are discussing right now, we don't have schools, we don't have water to drink, we don't have light and insecurity. Even right now that we are interviewing in our area right now, we don't have light. So you see, type of that, what we are thinking that of the democracy, we didn't get what we want in the actual democratically setup that we are all talking about.
We have not yet arrived in the system that is supposed to be democratic, because in a democratic setting, the leaders are supposed to be quite sensitive to the demand of people. We are witnessing unprecedented inflation. We're having foreign loans being taken without recourse to referendum. So this is really not good for us, because we're really not having it nice.
Asking if there is still hope for the country, the residents have this to say.
The solution is the government should change their way. They should change their way of ruling the people. They should do the needful and they should do the right thing. The way, as they call it, democracy.
You know, it's not too late. The president can still recalibrate his compass and then, you know, put necessary measures in place to make sure that the next Democracy Day is something that Nigerians will feel is actually worth celebrating.
The solution is simply, first and foremost, let the electorates not be deceived by these propagating and money issues. By doing so, it will help us. But when you look at the entire scenario of the country, a lot of things are coming into political terrain. Things like religious bigotry, religious, tribal, and the rest of other things that is happening within the country.
June 12 is a day set aside by former President Muhammadu Buhari to recognize the 1993 election widely considered to have been won by MK Abiola. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
To Katsina State now, where in May of this year, the police in the state has reported a total of 18 major cases, including armed robbery, kidnappings, culpable homicide, and cattle rustling. Now, of these cases, 12 have been charged to court. Additionally, 8 suspected bandits have been neutralized, while 87 kidnapped victims have been rescued by the police, and some 150 suspected rustled animals recovered. Here's Abdullah Yamadi with more on the development.
The Katsina State Police Command has also successfully arrested the trio of Haladi Isa from Safana local government, Abubakar Ahmad Katsina and Adamu Baude from Niger Republic in connection with purchase of arms and ammunition to bandits in Katsina forests. The suspected arms smugglers and gun runners were arrested in Keita local government area of Katsina State and also found in possession of 1.2 million naira cash.
Information was received through the Divisional Police Officer, Keita Local Government Area, in person of CSP Mahmoud Isa, of the activities of these criminals, so to say, and the DPO promptly mobilized operatives, where he trailed and succeeded in arresting the trio.
Similarly, the police arrested another suspect, Nafi Yunusa, in connection with an attempt to commit kidnapping at Runjambaushi village of Bindawa local government area of Katsina State. The suspect specialized in calling his unsuspecting members of the public using his phone, threatening them to pay certain amounts of money or risk being kidnapped or any of their family members.
In this case, the suspect called one of his cousins, threatening him to pay the sum of 250,000 naira through his first bank account number, or else risk the kidnap of his mother. Upon receipt of a complaint letter by the complainant, the Commissioner of Police promptly deployed detectives to investigate and ensure the arrest of this suspect.
On the recent dastardly act by suspected bandits in Kankara local government, where over 50 people, including security operatives, were killed, the command's spokesman speaks on the next line of action.
Security situation in Kankara local government area has been relatively calm, as the Commissioner of Police, Katsina State Police Command, CP Ali Abubakar Musa, has deployed additional operational assets in order to improve the security situation of the Kankara local government area. And also the command is actively pursuing all leads especially with regards to the recent incident in Kankara, and he also expressed his condolences to the families and friends of the deceased.
Katsina residents who are anxiously waiting the improvement of the state's security status expressed their support to the police and other security agencies to defeat the enemies of the state to guarantee law and order. Abdullahi Izuma Yamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria has stated that two of its towers, the T193 and T194, along the Damaturu-Maiduguri 330 kilovolt single-circuit transmission lines have been destroyed by vandals. The General Manager of Public Affairs, TCN, Ndidi Mba, stated this in a statement released in Abuja on Wednesday. According to Mba, the incident was reported at around 10:15 p.m. on Tuesday when the 150 megavolt ampere power station transformer at Molai substation tripped. Now, she said the tripping happened at the same time as the 330 kV transmission line supplying bulk power to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, from Damaturu transmission substation. Elsewhere, the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Company have picketed the head office of the Kano Electricity Distribution Company over unmet staff benefits. Now, the association also says they are embarking on an indefinite strike action and picketing the company for 5 days pending discussions on their demands. According to the Deputy President, Rilwan Shehu, the action became imperative following the refusal to approve reviewed condition of service that was agreed between the association and KETCO management. Reports say the company has been closed down with no single staff allowed access to the premises as the members of the association mount a defense at the entrance. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Adamawa State completes airlifting programs as Hajj rituals commence. More on this and many other stories up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news update. Thank you most kindly for staying with us. Let's take another look at our top stories. Nigeria's federal government warns of mass sacking as Labour disowns agreement over new national minimum wage. Blackout in Borno State as vandals bomb TCN transmission towers. Nigeria's Minister of Information and National Orientation, Muhammad Idris, has inaugurated the 2024 Charismatic Bishops Synod in Abuja with a call for religious leaders in the country to help foster peace, unity, and hope among citizens of Nigeria. Expressing gratitude for the spiritual leader's role, Muhammad emphasized the need for greater collaboration between religious institutions and the government to build a nation grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. Acknowledging the challenges facing Nigeria, the minister underscored the importance of decisive and forward-looking actions. He highlighted the government's deployment of non-kinetic measures to address insecurity, while targeting the root causes such as poverty, joblessness, and neglect. As part of efforts to address those issues, the minister also referenced the launch of the 50 billion Pulaku initiative focusing on 7 states most affected by banditry. The initiative aims to address conflict resolution, community reconstruction, and provide agricultural support to farmers and herders across Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Niger, Kaduna, Benue, and Kebbi states.
Indeed, as a nation, we are enduring short-term sacrifices for long-term benefits. We are inspired by the bigger picture of Nigeria, where no one is left behind. You have very influential platforms that can enlighten Nigerians on their rights, responsibilities, and the abundance of economic opportunities being thrown up by the policies and programs of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Those who are in authority are not there by their own will. They are there by the making of the Almighty God. Therefore, we must pray for them. Finally, we Nigerians must come to a point where we stop thinking only about what Nigeria can do for us, and we must begin to think about what we can do for Nigeria.
Now, as the Hajj rituals commence in Mecca, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria has concluded the airlift of 65,000 Nigerian pilgrims to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the 2024 Hajj exercise. Sharif Al-Hassan takes a look at the preparedness of pilgrims ahead of Arafat Day and the commitment of the Adamawa State government towards the welfare of its pilgrims in the Holy Land. His report.
With the announcement of the final airlift of 65,000 Nigerian pilgrims to the Holy Land, all the pilgrims have also completed their stay in Medina as they head to Mecca, the center of the Hajj rituals. Spiritually, the pilgrims' first bus stop is Zul Hulaifa. The road to Umrah and Hajj begins here in Zul Hulaifa. This is a point where Muslims from across the world who wants to perform Umrah and Hajj stop over and make known their intention and of course wear the ihram, popularly called the white garment, before they proceed to Mecca for the Umrah and Hajj rites. After making their intention known, the pilgrims also set out on a journey covering 339.5 kilometers from Medina to Mecca, reciting the Talbiyah, meaning Allah has called and we have answered. Upon arrival, the pilgrims were accommodated in a state-of-the-art facility hotel. This is part of Governor Fintri's transformative prowess towards the welfare of pilgrims in the Holy Land. Ahead of this year's Arafat Day, the Executive Secretary, Adamawa State Muslim Pilgrims Welfare Commission, Malam Abubakar Salihu, and other critical stakeholders from the state have been strategizing and working on modalities on how to convey pilgrims to Mina for the Hajj rituals. According to them, Adamawa State pilgrims are fit mentally and spiritually for the most tedious task ahead.
The morale of the pilgrims and their readiness is very high.
We've sensitized them on the benefits of going for the Mina. Even though the first day for the Mina is not obligatory, but subsequent days are obligatory, and therefore we would like to see all of them there and healthy and carrying out their activities.
Some of the pilgrims spoken to expresses confidence in embarking on the spiritual journey of a lifetime.
I feel joy, and I definitely am ready to perform the work by the grace of God. I'm well prepared to ensure that I have performed the Hajj, inshallah.
For now, Adamawa State pilgrims are in high spirit to be part of this year's Arafat Day in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Hajj commemorates the journey of Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail, as well as the trials they faced. It's a spiritual journey that promotes unity and equality among Muslims from all walks of life. From Makkah to Makarrama, Sharif Al-Hassan, Trust TV News.
Staying with developments on the international scene, a boat carrying more than 270 passengers has capsized on a river near Congo's capital of Kinshasa, leaving more than 80 people dead. President Felix Tshisekedi said Wednesday that it was the latest deadly boat accident in the Central African country, where overloading is often blamed, including in February when dozens lost their lives after an overloaded boat sank. A statement quoting Tshisekedi says the locally made boat capsized late Monday in Mai Ndombe province along the Kwa River. The boat was carrying 271 passengers to Kinshasa when it broke down due to an engine failure. In South Africa, lawmakers will elect the president on Friday after being sworn in at the first parliamentary seating. Now, this session will reveal the unity government the African National Congress, ANC, has formed after losing its majority for the very first time since 1994. Lawmakers will also elect the new Speaker and Deputy Speaker, with choices influenced by ANC opposition negotiations following the recent election results. Parties are under pressure to conclude negotiations by Thursday to fulfill the constitutional requirement to swear in lawmakers and elect the president within 14 days of election results being declared. The ANC won 40% of the national vote during the country's highly contested elections, followed by the Democratic Alliance with just 21%, and the newly formed Umkhonto Sewezwe Party with about 15% of the vote in their first ever election in South Africa. Talking sports now, Chelsea news signing Tosin Bello sent tongue swagging on X after pictures of him wearing the Super Eagles jacket sparked reactions online. Now, born in London to Nigerian parents, the Chelsea signee represented England at but is yet to and to represent Nigeria. He reportedly turned down an approach by the Nigeria Football Federation to represent the Super Eagles, but opened the door to a potential call-up in 2020 when he expressed his desire to play at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar with either England or Nigeria. Ex-users have been posting the Blues defender glued to his phone while sporting the Eagles' green and white jacket with the NFL logo, writing Tosin Bello. In other sports developments, still talking football, Ademola Lookman has been named Atlanta's Player of the Month for May and June. Lookman scored 6 goals and provided 3 assists in 2 months under review. The Nigerian international hugged the headlines after scoring a hat-trick in Atalanta's UEFA Europa League final victory over Bundesliga champions Bayer Leverkusen. It is the first time the winger will be winning the award this season. Now, the 26-year-old finished the campaign with 17 goals and 8 assists across all competitions. West Ham United and Bayern Munich have reportedly expressed their interest in signing Ademola Lookman. Well, that is it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. Thank you most kindly for joining us. Feel free to follow us across our social media platforms to stay in touch. Also visit our website trusttv.com for the latest news and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time.